I've gained 8 pounds since quarantine and have zero motivation. Get me back in gear. Q&A episode. This question and more today on the Do Hard Things Today podcast. Kevin Harrison here with Hal Morris.
Hey, everybody.
We are having one of our acclaimed Q&A episodes today. We get all kind of questions and feedback from you guys. We appreciate you guys doing that. You can always find us on our Facebook page, the Do Hard Things Today, our nutrition Facebook group, and then we've got the Hub City Runners. That's our running group, and you don't have to be in Spartanburg to be in either of those. Just go find that group, jump on there. It's free. We're not selling anything, and just join the group. A lot of good conversations go on inside those groups. But we've received several questions, and so we wanted to break out of our regular podcast and answer some of these. So, Hal, before we start asking questions, remind everybody where they can find us and about the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're on, of course, iTunes, which most people listen to, but we're also on Google Play Music, Spotify. If you say, Alexa, play the Do Hard Things Today podcast, she'll play it for you. And also now we're on YouTube. All the audio pops up on YouTube, and also we're put out a couple videos and got more coming real soon on our videos that we're still experimenting on.
Sweet. I mean, Hal's the brains behind doing all that, so he makes all that stuff happen. Another great thing you can do to get the word out about the podcast and the value that you're getting out of this is just to simply share it. And you can share it from any of those other formats, but just share it to your social media, share it to people that you think might be interested in what we've got going on and the information there. So enough about that.
Yeah, I had a request to share the first video on the Zwift group meeting.
Yeah.
Marla asked to share that on with her tri group, so I think
nice.
She's got that out there.
Yeah, that was really good, really. And if you go to that YouTube page, that's the kind of videos that we want to do, where they're quick hitters that are just showing you very easily how to do something and something that may interest you in your fitness and health lifestyle.
Yep. So
let's get to it.
Yeah. So Cindy C asked, when do you think races will open back up?
Oh, man, the $1 million question. Man, I mean, it is. And if you go on any internet forum, Facebook group, so whatever social media platform you're on, you will see rumor after rumor after rumor. And, gosh, guys, we've all been there. Actually, I had my big race for this year canceled. And, you know, how you had your big race this year canceled.
Mm-hmm.
All the big races so far, I guess going up through July now, have been canceled. The big Berlin Marathon just got canceled. I mean, so many are out there. The answer to that question is nobody knows.
No. I've heard on the Ironman races from a reliable source that Ironman makes a decision 50 days out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that, but
yeah, they and let me just say this, kind of a sidebar here. I've seen a lot of abuse, and I'll say abuse, a lot of nastiness towards race directors, whether it's
it would be a tough
whether
job.
It's Ironman, they're in a very, very tough spot, and for a lot of them, probably for insurance purposes, they have to wait for municipalities to tell them they can't do these races,
right?
To be able to there's just so many things that go into this. And I see just day after day on some of the forums I'm on that there's like, why don't they just cancel it? Why don't they just go ahead and cancel it? You know, they're trying to gyp us out of our money, blah blah blah. No, they're in an extremely tough spot with all of the logistical challenges and everything there. Listen, guys, we don't really know. One of the questions on here is about Disney races, and I'm going to talk about that. But even we're my family. We go to Disney every year. We're scheduled for June 13th to check in. Well, right now the parks are closed, and there's rumors and everything, but nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And for races, man, I just really don't know. You got to think about this. Okay, think about your shopping experience now. You go into. I stopped at the gas station on the way over here and got a drink. And there are lines 6 feet apart from each other saying this is where you stand in line. You can't even get near people in a gas station. All right, now just imagine, take Disney, for example, in the marathon. Sometimes there's 25,000 people running. I mean, seas of people.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to pull that off? And what does that look like? And I don't think any of us know what new normal is going to look like. So, Cindy C., I'm sorry, I can't tell you that on July the 3rd, races are going to open back up, but we really just don't know. Now I will say this. Do you want to know my opinion? My opinion is that I think you're not going to see any kind of racing until at least the middle of August. I think that would be the soonest we see any kind of racing going on. Right now, the next Ironman to go down is probably going to be Lake Placid. That's an end of July Ironman. Everything before that has been canceled. We're just talking Ironman in the triathlon community. Other races have been postponed over into the fall. That does not even guarantee those races will take place.
Right.
That's just, we've got to. I mean, this thing changes, man. We're in uncharted waters, guys. We're in uncharted waters. So I would just encourage you to be patient. Just be patient with the people making these decisions, because all you got to do is turn on the TV. You will hear the president saying one thing, a governor saying another, and a mayor saying another.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so who do the race directors listen to? What do they do? And forget politics for a second. We're dealing with lives. We're dealing with liability. All these things. If a race director, if they make a call to, even if they are given clearance by municipalities to do this, and they make a call and they do a race, and then half the people get sick, well, are they liable then? I don't know. We've never been here before. Back during, what was it, 1918? When was that the last big
pandemic?
Yeah,
Spanish flu.
And I think it was 1918. If that's wrong,
that's right.
Don't beat me up. But we weren't really doing Ironman triathlons back then, and made 25,000 people marathon. So be patient, Cindy C. Hopefully we'll be racing again in the not too distant future, but man, let's let this thing play out.
All right. So Stephanie says, I've gained 8 pounds since quarantine and have zero motivation now that there are no races or run groups. Get me going.
And a lot of people in that group. We just recorded the intermittent fasting follow-up podcast, and hey, Stephanie, I'm right there with you. When this thing first happened, I just lost all motivation, and for about a 10-day period, I mean, I didn't do anything. I was eating a bunch of junk, not working out of schedule, all these things that have knocked us off of our game. I think you just got to get refocused. The next podcast that's coming out is how to keep your mind in the game during quarantine, part of our quarantine series. And in there, we're going to give you some real tips on how to stay in the game. But just real quickly to answer this question, take it one day at a time. One day at a time. Okay, so you've gained 8 pounds. All right, don't look back. Let's look forward. What's the day look like? Okay, what am I going to do today? And most of that 8 pounds is coming from you don't have anything to do. You're walking around the house. You're probably binging on Netflix. And I'm not beating you up. I'm just saying we don't have anything else to do. We can't go anywhere. Can't do anything. And so you're just doing that, eating all day. And next thing you know, you're taking in an extra 1,000 calories of junk food, and you're not getting any exercise. So I would encourage you to do something early in the day. First thing in the morning, maybe get up first thing and drink 16 ounces of water, and then maybe get some kind of, even if it's 20 minutes of exercise in. Do a little body weight routine. push-ups, squats. We gave you one of those in the quarantine series 1 or 2 podcast. We can put that in the show notes, the reference to it. But do something like that, or just take the dog out, walk around the neighborhood. Do what you can do, and just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, and kudos to all the moms that have the kids at home now, trying to homeschool and watch them and not being able to get workouts like they were.
Hey, and all joking aside with that, Hal, I mean, if you're really stressing at home, mom, homeschooling those kids, doing that, and you have an extra 3 glasses of wine every day.
That's right.
Which is a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of people on Facebook that are saying that's what's happening. Man, real quickly, that can start packing on that can start packing on the weight for you. So
schedule a PE time.
Yeah. Do PE. Take the kids out and do those little. And don't complicate it, man. You can find these. You can find if you Google 15-minute body weight routine, I guarantee you'll have 100 things to choose from that are on YouTube and that kind of thing. So just stay with it, and don't forget we're going to come out of this. We are going to come out of this, and when we do, more than likely when we come out of this, it's going to be bathing suit weather. And if you've packed on 20 pounds, that 8 pounds can real quickly turn into 20. You got to think about that too.
So we're going to have long hair and bathing suits on.
Yeah, that's right, man. Hey, whoever said hairstylists aren't essential workers, they must not be looking in the mirror.
All right, Jeremy. Jeremy asks, is keto the best way to lose weight?
What do you think the answer to that is, Hal?
I know what my answer is. The best way to lose weight is to change your lifestyle.
Change your lifestyle.
We've had Sean Eastman in that we had a podcast with him, and his story, my story is kind of parallel. We changed our lifestyle to lose weight and get healthy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Keto is a very effective way to lose weight. No doubt. But it is one of many ways that you can lose weight. Yeah. And the magic, the quote unquote magic of keto comes from the standpoint of you are drastically reducing your calories. I mean, you're reducing calories, and you're cutting out in keto. You're cutting out, forget about all of the good carbs, medium carbs, bad carbs, whatever. Really, it's the bad carbs. You those things. If you can get rid of the stuff that you know is bad for you, like I don't think there's anybody out there that would say simple sugar and refined foods is something that should be a staple of your diet. I don't think you can find anybody that says that. If you just take those things out of your diet, and I'm going to make an assumption here, and this is Jeremy that asked this question. I'm going to make the assumption that you are probably eating a standard American diet, fast food, processed food, drinking sweet tea, drinking Cokes, that kind of thing, or any kind of sugary drink. I'm not trying to beat up on Coke. But if you're in that spot right there, simply removing a couple of those really bad things, like processed foods, and we talk about processed foods, if it's got a long ingredient list, that's a processed food. If you will remove sugars from your diet, simple sugars like I said, sugary drinks, that kind of thing, you're going to immediately start to see weight loss. You don't have to go all the way keto on that, but let's get out of this mindset that you have to do a particular diet or way of eating to be able to lose weight. Healthy lifestyle, guys, and I think inside of a healthy lifestyle is a some of these cheat meals we talk about where you can go out and enjoy any kind of food you want to at certain times, so you're not always just towing the line. So that'd be our take on that question.
Yep. All right. Tony B. asked, I want to start cycling. What kind of equipment is a must?
Hey, this is your wheelhouse. How?
Well, I'll tell you how I started with what equipment I did. Used bike on Facebook, not a big investment. I went the road cycling route. You've also got mountain biking.
Yep.
which is big, which I would recommend used bike there. I did a road bike. One thing that's getting big is gravel bike, but I'm not sure that would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Because you got to find gravel roads to be able to do those. So basically it's road or mountain, and go a used route where you haven't got a big investment, and just start there. What is a must in either one of those is a helmet.
Yeah.
A good helmet. We've had some accidents here, some friends, and the helmet literally saved their life here recently. So helmet, safety equipment, and then just get started. Find a group always helps, or one or two friends. We started. I started with the Hub C Runners Tri Group here. Sunday afternoon rides. Started riding. What was that first ride? 10 miles.
Yeah, 10 miles.
Then 20 miles.
Yeah.
And then
I think you hit a squirrel on your first or second ride.
Yeah,
right?
hit a squirrel. Yep. So and then within a year, I was up. I rode from Spartanburg to Beaufort, 220 miles. So it's very, very addictive. So be prepared for that. So
yeah, and I think you can find probably somebody has a bike in their garage that they have not been using.
mm-hmm.
That even if you just want to get out and just see if you like it, man, if you start looking at bikes, you can spend a fortune. On bikes.
Yeah,
and there's no need to do that. Really, a bike will help you some, and these nice super bike. I mean, I got a nice bike. You got a nice bike,
mm-hmm.
but it's the engine. It's the miles on the road that are gonna make you faster. But just find something. Find a used bike. I think you got your. Did you get yours Craigslist?
Jill found it for me on Facebook.
On Facebook,
we drove up to Rock Hill, and just small investment. Another must if you're going the road bike route is a good pair of cycling shorts.
Yes,
everybody makes fun of the shorts, but it's a must. You got to have them.
Yeah, so. And for those of you not familiar, they are cycling shorts are not. I've seen some beginners that have come out in they wear it's like a spandex, it's like a running short, and they think that's what it is, and then they pay the price for it.
Yeah,
cycling shorts have a chamois.
Yep,
and
have a pad.
It's got a big pad that you sit down on, and if you don't have that, I'm just telling you, you're gonna be in for a long day, and that's you don't want that, and I would just encourage you on this too. When you start riding, don't be ashamed to ask any question, because
that's right.
Every single one of us has been there
mm-hmm.
where we've been the newbie, hadn't known what's going on. I think Tony Maccabee,
mm-hmm.
what'd he say? He went he supposedly he didn't have on cycling shorts or something.
Yeah, he lied.
He lied about it. And,
I've got on cycling shorts.
Yeah, he said he had on because he didn't want to look stupid. But man, we've all looked. But you don't want to get out there on the bike and just try to make it up as you go. So
and start out with tennis shoes and flat pedals.
Yeah,
for the first couple, you'll figure out what clipless pedals are, and but it was hard starting out. It'd be hard starting out for somebody. Just try flat pedals and tennis shoes, see how you like it, being out on the road, and then go from there.
Yep. And look, don't be afraid. Go into your local bike shop. Here we've got one Trek bikes over here in Spartanburg. They're awesome. Don't be afraid. These people they're not hard sellers. They're not
mm-hmm.
going to try to. They're going to try to help you, because if they help you, they know that they're going to have a customer for life.
That's right.
Let them kind of guide you through this process, and go into a local bike shop to get your accessories and that kind of thing. And then whenever you need to upgrade, you got somebody you got a relationship with, and you can jump into some of these nicer things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next is from Mike G. What supplements do I need to take?
Oh man, we'll put in the show notes. We did a podcast with Jacob over at the nutrition store where we basically covered supplements in the entire podcast. So we'll put that in the show notes. But that is a depending on what you're looking for question.
Mm-hmm.
We encourage you to try to get as much nutrition as you can from your eating, from your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Eat whole foods, eat things as close to the natural, vegetables, fruits, good. If you can find grass-fed meat, chicken that's not pumped full of antibiotics and other things, you can get the majority of your nutrition you can get from those things. We talked about a few things. I think Jackie talked about just a multivitamin, just a supplement for that. Now you kind of get into that next phase though of, are you truly trying to optimize your life? Okay, you've got a maintenance phase where here's just some basic supplements. Some of those would fall into that category, would be multivitamins. Most people say like a fish oil, krill oil, something like that. Then when you get into optimization, that's when you start getting into things like vitamin D, magnesium, those kind of supplements. If you're a runner or a cyclist or something like that,
endurance sports,
you don't want to leave out electrolytes, and that's your salts. Matt, you want to talk about that at all?
Your
yeah,
sodium, potassium, magnesium.
Yeah, sodium, potassium, magnesium. You can find that, and you're not going to get those adequately in Gatorade or Powerade. Now, I'll say this because I beat them up a lot, but like Gatorade Zero, Powerade Zero, you can add some salt into those. You can add. You can even like drop if you use Tailwind, sell that here at Hub City Runners, and you can add some things to those, and it's going to give you more. But what comes in those drinks is really not adequate to help you if you're and it's starting to heat up now if you're out running and cycling. So supplements, try to get as much as you can from your food. A good multivitamin that's just got and all that multivitamin is, it's just trying to shore up any deficiencies you may have. A good and I like krill oil. That's a type of fish oil, but I like the krill oil. That's a good one to take. And then personally, I don't now. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and start running around with no sunscreen on or whatever, but I can tell you this, that whenever it's like it is now, I go and run, and I'll take my shirt off and run, and your body takes in vitamin D from the sun. And I feel 1,000 times better when I'm doing that.
Okay.
And, but you can supplement with vitamin D as well, but your body is made to take in the vitamin D from sun. That's the way your body produces it. Vitamin D is one that we're often deficient in, and magnesium is another one that we're often deficient in. So that'd be the start there. And, one other thing on supplements that would fall into that category is going to be like a protein shake, something like that. Right. That's a good way to get some quick nutrition back in, especially after you're working out.
All right. Last question. Do you think Disney races will be canceled for the year?
Oh, man. And actually, I've gotten this question probably 15 or 20 times.
So which races do they have coming up, I guess?
Well,
what they got left this year?
Well, the big one that's still on the calendar right now is the Wine and Dine over in November. And then the granddaddy of all, the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, where the Dopey Challenge and all that's in January.
In January, yeah.
Yeah, and so right now, those two races are still on. But again, we don't know how this is going to work. We've actually got registration for the marathon weekend in January. That registration is coming up the second week of May. So obviously they are still planning on, if things don't change, that they will be racing. What does that look like? What does capacity look like? We just don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know the answer to that. But I think, heck, man, right now, like I said, this is, we're recording this in the end of April, and June 13th, my family has got a vacation plan for Disney. We got reservations, everything. Everything's booked. All of our everything's there. But Disney's closed right now.
Right.
And there's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, but the best information, the most consistent information that you get is that it is, it's going to be, that they're going to be closed through May. that we may be looking at a June 1 opening. But we don't even know what that looks like. I mean, how do you get that many people with social distancing and that kind of thing? So I guess the answer, this convoluted answer, would be I am 100% confident that a year from now we will be racing again. Okay. November, I am somewhat confident Wine and Dine, that's the next big race coming up with Disney. I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. I'm really confident about January.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive.
Right.
I don't think they would be if they didn't have it. And I love Disney, and I've done all their stuff, and I've been to they got a business called the Disney Institute where you go down for a week and you do an intensive, and they tell you how Disney operates. They are an efficient machine, but the number one principle that they abide by and that they feed to all their team members and cast members is safety is first. I mean, that is the number one priority for them, and I'm interested to see what they come up with on not only the races but also opening up the parks. How are they going to make this a safe place for people to come and enjoy their vacations, and then for run and honestly, guys, I'm just going to tell you. First question we had was when a race is going to open back up. If you are going to participate in a race, any kind of race, I'm just going to say this, I'm going to leave it here. You are taking that risk on yourself. And you're just going to have to understand that if you're going to go to a place where 10,000 people are and you're going to be running with them, sweating on them, listen, races are nasty things, man. I mean, there's stuff goes on a race course that just, you're rubbing up against people, your sweat's getting on each other, you're sneezing, you're coughing, all these things. It just happens on a race course. You just got to accept that.
Yeah.
You just got to accept it. And when races open back up, if you're not comfortable accepting that risk, then just don't race.
Yeah.
Don't race. Don't go race, and then if you get sick, be one of the people that wants to jump on the race directors and the others. But you just gotta be smart and do the best that you can. But you're going to be taking on a risk, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future, whenever races do start back, that there is not a new part of the waiver that includes any kind of communicable disease, or virus or whatever it may be, that you're assuming that risk by participating in a race with other people, because they can't. There's no way you're going to be able to health check and check the temperatures of every single person unless you're willing to pay $1,000 race entry, to have all that done.
Yeah. Or if a vaccine, they may need a proof of vaccination.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And, we don't know. I'm going this week to have the antibody test. I am convinced that I had the corona early on when it got here. I had about a 10-day period where I just had a terrible cough, felt bad, couldn't run, like my breathing wasn't good. But I'm gonna have the antibody test, and I think we may find out, and I hope we do. We may find out that a whole lot more people have had this thing than are being reported. Right. And I'm not saying false reporting. I'm just saying there's just unless you've been tested, then how do you know?
Yeah,
you just assume that you don't. So I don't know when we're going to be racing again. Man, I hope it's sooner rather than later. But I will just say that you're probably, when we go back to racing, it's probably not going to look exactly like it did before, and you're probably going to have to assume the risk of coming down with something if you go. It's just part of it. I don't think you will, but I think you're going to have to assume that risk to be able to do that. So
that's all we got.
That's all of our questions. So you can always shoot that over to us, Kevin at dohardthingstoday.com, over on our Facebook page. You can message us. You can find us on YouTube, all these other places. And we just want to remind you, do hard things today, and tomorrow will take care of itself.